Baisley at the center circle, along with Sharp, who wins the tip. And they double team flag right away. They blitz him. How's that for a welcome to the NBA moment?
There you go, and he handled it well. It probably caught him off guard a little bit, but he got that on to point B.
They said they were going to run the first play for him, and he barely grazes the rim. Swider in on defense. And here comes Bronny across the midcourt line. Darius Baisley, erstwhile the OKC Thunder, out front. Dalton Connect, another name that you'll remember from the regular season. Nice blind pig action and a good defensive play. Got the block. Connect retrieved it. 4 on the shot clock. Swider from deep for 3. Left it on the front rim. Baisley inside. Another chance. Connect wide open. A whistle first. And we're going to have a foul on the play. And that's going to go against the Dallas Mavericks.
That was an impressive block on that three-point attempt by Maxwell Lewis. Connect thought he had plenty of time to get that off. That's incredible reach and recovery. And then Baisley working that offensive glass.
There's a look at Maxwell Lewis. 6'7" out of Pepperdine. That foul against Cooper Flag, his first. Here's Bronny around the Baisley screen. Step back over Flag. And that jumper's wet to start the night.
Well, even just there, that first impression of him, he's a much more confident player than he was a year ago. He had no doubt when he got that ball what he wanted to do with it.
Flag on the edge. Cross court. Flag with a couple jab steps. 5 on the clock. And rebounded by the Lakers and Baisley. The Flag with the first 2 field goal attempts coming off. Baisley couldn't get the pass. There's a foul. What'd you make of that last sequence by Flag?
Well, he had that 3 if he wanted it. And I mentioned at the start, that's a different line. You add 5 feet to that shot. It's just different when you eye it up. They kind of dared him to take it. He wanted to get one dribble inside the line. Ends up with a contested 3.
James laces the 3. And Bronny out of the gate quickly. 5-0. Not surprising when you consider the fact that Chris Johnson, his uncle and trainer, had him in the gym a week after the regular season ended. And a 3 at the other end by the Mavericks, by Kelly.
They can do that. He does not need much time to get his feet set.
There's Baisley out front. They're going to be sticking to Swider. He's a dead-eye shooter. Baisley over the length for the bucket. Impressive move.
Yeah, that's got to be tough over Jamarian Sharp. It's like an eclipse out there when he puts his arm up at 7'5", and Baisley able to lean back and get that to go.
And Swider stepped out of bounds with it. So it'll come back the other way. Dallas basketball down by 4, just underway. What do you make of Bronny's jumper here?
Oh, he just looks completely sure of himself. I think that's the biggest difference. It was a little bit overwhelming for him, even being in Summer League a year ago. And people had their eyes on him, knowing who his dad was, and now he's with the Lakers. He looks right now like he's out here to do damage this summer.
People forget he's just 20 years old. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay at that end. Dallas basketball. Bronny James, remember, had that cardiac event going into his freshman year at USC. Had a very disjointed freshman season, and then last year acclimating himself to the NBA.
And the inconsistency with his shooting stroke a year ago, that's what everybody was questioning. Would that ever be NBA level? So it's a good start here to hit a mid-range, follow it with a 3.
Here's Ryan Nembhard, the younger brother of Andrew Nembhard, and after leading the nation in assists this past year, knocks down his first jumper.
Coaching staff absolutely raving about Ryan Nembhard and what he does on both ends. As a leader with the ball, his ability to shoot it, and then his ability to guard the ball and put pressure, much like his brother.
Lewis on the break, sprays it out to the wing. One more. Kelly couldn't get that one to catch. And it's rebound by the Mavericks. Lewis, by the way, a former Los Angeles Laker for over a year. Cross court, Nembhard goes around the world. Good defense, 1 on the shot clock. Lewis just gets it off. And the Mavs with another opportunity. They couldn't convert it, and Baisley couldn't keep it in play. It'll be Dallas basketball.
Couple more really good looks for Miles Kelly. Guy at Auburn who shot just under 40% from the 3. And that's what he's out there to do. And they want to put spacing around Cooper Flagg because of his ability to break you down off the dribble and with his size, make any pass available to shooters.
Nembhard, diminutive but dynamic on his way to the bucket. Don't be fooled by the size, folks. And I'll tell you this, the Mavericks actually made an attempt to trade up into the second round to get him. They got him as an undrafted free agent. They called him and his representatives immediately after the draft concluded. Here's Connect straightaway three. He used all the iron to get that one to go.
Yeah, that's soft. And he had a couple of rough outings to start his summer league prior to coming to Vegas, but had a big game, a 25-point game in his last one before he came here, so he's got to be feeling better.
Extra pass to the corner, that one a little bit too strong. Baisley with the board, Los Angeles leading by 3. Connect with the Hessian spin. And Baisley couldn't get his hands on the rebound. It'll be Dallas basketball. Couple of subs coming into the ball game. Dalton Connect, who had a tumultuous rookie season after being traded and then brought back to the Lakers, finding his groove.
NBA 2K26 Summer League is proudly sponsored by NBA 2K26. Rated E for everyone.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Thomas & Mack Center. Cooper Flagg subbing out of the ball game, went 0 for 2 from the field in his first stint of minutes. Now speaking with assistant coach for the Mavericks, Jay Triano, who will be running the offense for Jason Kidd this year. He told me, Mark, I can't believe he's only 18 years old with his poise and his competitiveness coupled with his skill. We'll get a little bit of a breather here. Hall with the rebound. 10 on the shot clock. Nice cut back door. And we're going to have a foul underneath against the Lakers. Jemison checked into the ball game as well during that break. Trey Jemison. Foul is going to be on him.
Jemison, 22 games with the Lakers a year ago, and we know we talked often about the Lakers' lack of size a year ago. And the trade that was rescinded, it would have brought in Mark Williams. Jemison ended up benefiting from that and getting some playing time down the stretch for the Lakers and played well.
Hall with a deep three pull. Mavs with the offensive board. Cleveland threw it away. Ronnie James also checked out of the ball game during that last break. Here's Connect, who's already knocked down a 3. Baisley trying to get to his strong hand. Good cross and draws the hit. There it is. Baisley spent the first 3+ seasons of his career with Oklahoma City, averaging 13.7 points per game and about 7 rebounds in 55 starts.
And for a big, he's got a couple of go-to moves he loves. He loves that crossover left to right. He also loves going hard left, spinning back. Very quick on both of those moves. Hard for another big to keep him in front.
And here's Flagg on the break, punching it home. Welcome to the league, Cooper Flagg.
Well, that's what you're going to see out of him. First of all, the defense, the quick hands, and then his ability at 6'10" to get out and push it out ahead and outrun people even with a live dribble.
Moving his feet well there defensively, gets the miss. Got enough handle to take it on the break himself. Flagg using the self-checkout line for the bucket.
Yeah, I think the jitters are gone now. I think he had a couple of butterflies on those first 2 jumpers, but a dunk will have a tendency to make you feel a little bit more relaxed. He goes to a mid-range fade.
Connects with the 3 ball. That's short. Flagg again. Great hit-ahead pass. And a good contest at the rim by Baisley. Got a piece of that for the block. Jemison inside, spins. There's going to be a foul on the play. That's going to go against one of their bigs, Cisse.
There's Cooper Flagg. You see him being disruptive with those long arms. Gets in that lane of the driver, and then we know about the athletic ability. He will have damage on his mind if he gets into the open floor. Once you get a dunk, Jonesy, now you're starting to get in your bag a little bit. He feels this, the size advantage over Connect. He knows he can go to that lean back mid-range.
10 on the shot clock, back out into the corner. Jemison sets a good screen and got it on the block. And that's going to be a traveling violation.
And that's tough for Jemison. That's not really his natural game, to catch the ball down there with his back to the basket, particularly against a guy like Sharp with that kind of size advantage. Jemison better at screen dive or getting on the offensive glass.
Nembhard is checked out of the ball game. Flag off the double drag screen. Pulls up for three in rhythm. A little bit of a heat check. Tough move inside, comes off. And that's going to be a foul underneath against the Lakers. Rice will be whistled for the foul as Swider comes into the ball game for Baisley. So with Nembhard out of the ball game, we get to see Flag's full ball handling skills and decision making on display here now. Try and walk down his man, turn around. It comes off to Swider.
He doesn't get that to go, but you see what he does so well when he puts his back on you in the post. He absorbs contact because he's got a very strong lower base, so he can stay on balance to still get off a quality look.
Here he is on the break, got the pass, and one. Cooper Flag with his third field goal. We got a timeout. Flag starting to find his rhythm, putting a little bit of muscle in that hustle. Back after this. Summer League action continues tomorrow on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. NBA TV tomorrow has Memphis versus Boston at 4. Knicks, Detroit at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Chicago, Toronto at 8. And then the nightcap has the Clippers taking on Houston at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Cooper Flag at the free throw line. He scored the last 6 in a row for the Dallas Mavericks. The rookie out of Duke says that he likes to take bits and pieces of Jason Tatum's games and try and acclimate it to his own. That's a pretty good role model.
I think that's a great role model, particularly when you look at what Jason Tatum has done to his handle since he came into the league. You know, I always said it's one thing to be, a big-time talent. You got to add something where you have escapability with the ball, but then the next level beyond that is a counter to great defense on that move. That's what Tatum has eventually added. So that's a great person to emulate for Cooper Flag. Tighten up that handle and create even more opportunities for yourself as a playmaker.
Davis around the screen by Jemison. Tough step back, got it. And Davis brings the Lakers back to within 1. Flag bringing it up against full court ball pressure and drawing the foul on the play. So we've seen him, Tim, get blitzed right off the opening tip and picked up 94 feet and handling both situations with aplomb.
I can tell you, all the years coming to Summer League, you and I were talking about it during the break. You ever seen a guy get blitzed on his first touch in the backcourt? Welcome to the NBA, and I think he's clearly now a lot more comfortable.
Yep.
Those first few minutes under his belt.
Lindsey Harding, the Summer League head coach for the Lakers, she's not playing around. Flag got it knocked away, but there's a foul on the play. That's going to go against Gordon. It'll be side out of bounds. 2:19 to go in this opening quarter. Like 4 10-minute periods here in Summer League action.
One thing Cooper Flag has mastered already, he's so good in the triple threat using that jab step. So he does a lot of the work before he puts the ball down to get guys to shift weight, get them off balance. It makes him quicker. It makes his handle even better than having to immediately put it down and create so much at 6'10". He jabs first so well to get you to react. That sets up where he wants to go with his dribble.
Great footwork. Lakers down by 1. Here's Davis. Nembhard hawking him defensively and gets the miss. Ryan Nembhard, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, one of the guys also to keep an eye on out of Gonzaga after transferring from Florida, the younger brother of Andrew Nembhard of the Indiana Pacers, who just, of course, went to the NBA Finals, but from a basketball family. Their father, Claude, is the president of Ontario basketball up in the Toronto area. Here's Flag into the front court. Nembhard on the wing. 10 on the shot clock for Hall. On the drive, good cut. Flag for 3. He front rimmed it, retrieved by the Mavericks. Cleveland got it to go. That's his first field goal. Dallas up 3. 95 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Davis snakes the screen out to Swider. And he usually gets those to go, Tim.
He hasn't missed too many so far this summer. This is his 4th game now with the Lakers, first here in Vegas. And he has just been blistering the Nets the entire time. Great size, and you can see him come off that down screen. When you're that big and you get those feet turned, it doesn't really matter how close the defender is.
Another bucket by the Mavs. Yeah, Swider averaged about 20 points a game in the 3 games in the California Classic. Nembhard with that last bucket. He has 6 now. Davis for 3. And we got a foul. That's going to be 3 foul shots for Davis as Cleveland a little overzealous on the contest. Interesting, Bronny James had those opening, 3-4 minutes, and subbed out, hasn't been back since. James a perfect 2 for 2 from the field, a total of 5 points. Davis at the free throw line.
Yeah, you see there, ACC Player of the Year in 2024, second team All-ACC a year ago. He is a very mature and poised guard. He's been around a while, flat-out scorer. He can get his own shot, not a really high percentage 3-point shooter, even though it looks like the numbers should be better when it comes off with the release.
Okay.
It comes off those fingertips so nicely, but for some reason it just goes in at about a mid-30s clip.
5 years at North Carolina. Roy Williams in the crowd here, one of many part of the sellout crowd here at the Thomas and Mack Center. Here's a look at Coach Williams. Was sitting next to Mavericks scout Maktar Njai, a former North Carolina player. It's Carolina everywhere, right? You can't get away from it.
No.
It's like the heat here.
You feel it everywhere you go.
Flag on the move. Sprays it to the corner. Cleveland rebounded. And the Lakers with a 2-for-1 opportunity if they choose. That 3 is way off. Nembhard with a nice hit ahead to Flag on the break again and rejected this time. Cleveland with the loose ball rebound. Nembhard fires, and that's 8 points now for Ryan Nembhard. He is fearless.
I tell you, he's got a look about him that reminds me a lot of what I saw last summer out of Scottie Pippen Jr. Relentless ball pressure, so quick with the ball, getting into his shots, and you saw what a great summer turned into for Scottie Pippen Jr. and the impact he had in Memphis.
Yeah, that's going to be a foul on Hall, but great point you make, Legs. Josh Brookhammer was raving and effusive in his praise for Nembhard and his leadership voice, albeit, you know, these teams have only had 3 days of practice, but Nembhard has used a very quiet yet assertive leadership style to get this team galvanized coming into this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there are AAU teams that are practically family compared to what these guys have had. 3 days of practice. I'm not even sure they all know each other's names yet, so you can't really run a lot of coordinated sets that create great balance and spacing, so you instead teach concepts. And you hope you've got guys smart enough on the floor to execute those, and that's a big part of what they want to see out of Cooper Flagg and his leadership.
Look at Frank Vogel, who'll be running Jason Kidd's defense this year with the Dallas Mavericks, one of the top defensive minds in the game. Of course, with the Lakers to the championship in 2020. 2 seconds to go. They turn it over. It'll count. And that's the end of the first 10 minutes of play. The Mavericks leading 19-17. LeBron James Jr. got out of the gate quickly. He's got 5 points. Knocked down his first 2 jumpers, one of them that 3 ball. And Cooper Flagg has been aggressive at the offensive end. He's 3 for 9, 6 points. And does it on the break, too.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, where the Lakers Lakers trail by 2. We're on the sidelines with Bronny James. Bronny, you looked efficient and comfortable in the first couple of minutes. How would you describe the form you're in right now?
Trying to be myself, be as aggressive as I can, and make the the right play for my team. That's my motto, and that's what I'm going to stand by.
You know all about a hyped-up summer league debut. It took Cooper Flagg a couple of shots to finally get going. What makes him difficult to defend?
He's just a quick, powerful big. So we got to do everything we can to stop him and slow him down. But he's a great player. He's going to get his sometimes. So just got to do a great job to stop him down.
Thanks, Bronny.
Yep, got you.
Yeah, Bronny's a different-looking player, and physically a different-looking player than he was a season ago at this time. Like I said, speaking with Chris Johnson, his trainer, has been working on his handles, combo dribbles, hang dribbles, drag dribbles, P&R scenarios. Got hit going to the basket and going up to the free throw line after getting clobbered like that too.
And a nice hesitation coming off that ball screen. I think a year ago, or even throughout the season a year ago, I think right there, he would have either turned the corner and went immediately and maybe thrown up something off balance, or he would have shot a pull-up before he was ready. That time he came off, he surveyed the opening in front of him, he gave a slight hesitation, and then he realized he could grab more real estate and get that up to the rim and draw the contact to earn 2 free throws. Again, it's just all about reps and getting comfortable at this level.
He talked about creating a little bit more space for himself, and like you said, Tim, that's a great read right there.
He saw more gap to get to the rim, knew that there was no backline defender squared up, so it wasn't like he had to shoot it over an elite shot blocker. When a defender's back there out of position, take it into his chest and try to earn a whistle.
Another thing, too, he says, for me, it's about being in great shape and getting into elite condition and being able to become disruptive on defense. He's guarding Cooper Flagg right now. Ball goes into the corner, 7 on the shot clock for the Mavs. Maxwell Lewis, the former Laker, with a tough step-back contested 3. Bricked that one, and here comes Los Angeles. Chance to take the lead just underway here in the second quarter. Nice roll, but a foul drawn on the play, so the Lakers with a chance to take the lead from the free throw line. Cristiano Coloco, first while of the Toronto Raptors, formerly of Arizona as well. He's one of the Lakers' two-way players. 37 games overall, all off the bench for the Lakers a season ago. Hey, the Emirates NBA Cup tips off October 31st. The much-anticipated tournament returns with all 30 teams competing in group play and 8 of them advancing to the knockout rounds, but only one will capture the cup. Visit NBA.com/NBA Cup to learn more. And boy, what a great tournament that was last year. The Bucks ended up winning it all, and they kind of put them on a good course, but then, man, those injuries in the playoffs really derailed their season. Flagg right down Main Street. Took some soul to the hole, but couldn't punch it. Oh, wow, that was breathtaking.
I didn't think he had the angle to get that there, and I thought maybe he took out a little too far, but that reach got him at least to the front of the rim. It's a good contest, but man, it shows you what Cooper Flagg can do athletically.
Let me look up his wingspan real quick here, Legs.
I mean, it's impressive. Look where he jumped from. His left foot was right on the hash as he tried to get that to the rim with all that length in front of him.
The fans coming to their feet. Bronny trying to stick Cooper Flagg. Flagg trying to walk him down, couldn't. Sprays it to the wing, and the Lakers get the stop. There are some in the Lakers staff that feel that Bronny James could get rotation minutes this year. If he continues to track and develop the way that he is, he'll do it by being disruptive on defense. He got the stop that time.
The key is you have to make your presence felt defensively at his size. You do that with relentless pressure. He's added upper body strength so he can hold his ground better against bigger guys, as he just did there against Cooper Flagg. And then the key is just more consistency offensively in the minutes he gets.
He's up to 215 pounds. Knocked it away. Bronny put the clamps on Flagg. Handcuffs. But a foul called against James.
It's smoky in here, Tim.
I'm not too sure about this call. I mean, he's standing his ground really well. And Cooper Flagg was trying to hit him with that shoulder and back him up. And Brownie wasn't really moving a whole lot. He was very active, trying to get a piece of that basketball from behind. He eventually gets it.
Brownie's been eating his cornbread, so Flag says, I'm not going to walk him down. I'll knock down this midi.
And that's great. There's a lot of chirping over there in that corner where that ball got deflected. The last time around, the foul was called on Brownie, and Cooper hits the turnaround jumper. Had something to say to that group.
Rice turned the corner, missed the layup. Kelly on the break, raises up, through the hit, and one. Swider fouled him, and the Mavs will go to the line for the three-point play.
Yeah, this is one thing. Look, Bronny James can do certain things laterally to keep guys in front, but at the end of the day, you're giving up a lot of size. So if Cooper Flag wants to get into this, he's not going to have a problem. He's got a little smirk.
Hey, little lip splitting and ego tripping going on over there. You got to like it. Summertime basketball. Flag will sub out of the ball game with 8 points on 4 of 11. He's certainly not shy about getting his jacks up tonight.
And I don't know that I've seen too many guys that were top 5 picks come out and play as many minutes as he has right off the start. This game, usually those guys get 5-6 minutes and they get them out. So great stamina early for Cooper Flag as well.
Local hands it off to Swider, pulls the 3. Battle underneath, loose ball out of bounds. It'll stay at that end. Lakers basketball with 7:37 to go. So Lindsey Harding has to like what she sees so far from the Lakers Summer League squad as Flag gets a breather. Harding actually was offered an assistant coach job with the Lakers last year right here at Summer League by J.J. Redick. Bronny around the screen for 3. Tipped up and good, and a foul. So the Lakers with a chance to tie.
Good look by Bronny James, just hits front rim, and Sir'Jabari Rice coming in from the weak side unchecked, able to hang in the air and get that to go, +1.
Rice at the foul line. Chance to tie this game at 24. Rice averaged 12.8 points per game a season ago. In the 3 games at the California Classic, averaged about 6. Here's Nembhard. James trying to stick him. 9 on the shot clock for Nembhard. Off the screen. That midi comes off. Looks like he might have lost his balance a little bit. His legs were split pretty wide, and Lewis puts it home.
Yeah, I think Nembhard actually lost control of the ball when he came to that jump stop, and it made it look very awkward as he left the floor. He didn't have control of the basketball, slipped off the side of his hand.
Bronny off the away action. One more to Koloko. Tough pass.
Yeah, that ball's got to go up in the air there for Koloko. That's going to be a dunk if he gets that up in the air. It's a very difficult bounce pass in traffic for him to catch.
And the Mavericks convert off the turnover at the other end. Lead back up to 5 with 6.5 to go. That's going to be a foul. Rice off the screen. A couple of subs coming to the ball game for both teams. Dalton Connect comes in, Tim, and been kind of conspicuous by his silence so far in this game, albeit he's only played 6 minutes in the California Classic. Didn't shoot it particularly well, just 37% from the field, 24% on threes. What do you make of his prospects here at Summer League?
I think he's got a lot of talent. I think that he didn't have much opportunity to have consistency a year ago. A very, very weird year. You remember, he was part of that trade that was rescinded, so for a day and a half, he wasn't even a Laker anymore. That had to be a little bit jarring to him. He had splashes. He had moments where he could string together shots, but I think there's a lot more there, and it should be there in year 2.
Swider doing what he does, knocks down the 3. He's got 6 in the ball game. Lakers back to win the bucket. You know, as you see teams picking up 3/4 court, full court, you tell me, Tim, it seems to become a little bit more of a trend as that 3 falls in the NBA, especially when you look at the 2 teams that ended up in the finals. What do you make of that?
Very much so. And look, I also think it's critical when you get in a setting like this and you're trying to impress not just the team that you're wearing the uniform for tonight, you're auditioning for the entire league. You have to differentiate yourself, and ball pressure is one way to do it.
Timeout on the floor. Cooper Flagg in double-digit scoring already, ready to check back in when we come back to Las Vegas.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. We're getting to spend some time with Indiana Pacers point guard Andrew Nembhard, fresh off of his NBA Finals appearance. But he's here tonight watching his younger brother Ryan, who's just signed his two-way deal with the Dallas Mavericks. What was the family's reaction when he got the call from Nico Harrison?
Oh, super excited. Super excited to get this opportunity. Super excited to say he can play in the league. And it's been a long journey for him, and I'm just happy to see here.
It's off to a great start. 8 points, already has an assist, a couple of rebounds. What kind of player is Dallas getting in Ryan?
I think a winner. I think they're getting a winner, a guy who wants to compete, do whatever the team needs, play on and off the ball. A guy who can play make and make others around him better.
Is there any part of his game that's better than yours?
No. He's still working on it. He's young. He's working.
Typical older brother. Have you been able to rest and recharge since the NBA Finals?
I have. I've been taking my time off. I haven't really thought too much about it. Trying to flip the page.
I know it didn't obviously end the way that you guys wanted, especially how Tyrese was injured in the final games of that. But how would you describe just the overall experience in the postseason run you guys were able to go on?
Great experience for us. I think as a young group, these experiences just grow us further and bond us even closer. So there's a lot to learn from in that run for us, and looking to turn the page and have fun coming back.
You were an absolute menace on so many nights throughout the playoff, especially on the defensive side. What did you think of the ability and your contributions throughout it?
I like being a menace.
There are other words for it.
No, that was a good one. I like that one. It was fun. We just had a great time competing, being together, winning, playing on those big stage, high risk, high reward type of thing, and want to see if we can do it again.
I know that we've seen some different posts from Tyrese just about his recovery, but how's it going from your point of view as his teammate? How's he doing?
I think he's in good spirits. I think it's always going to be tough for a guy when you take away something that's their whole identity almost for a whole year. So he's going to be on the sideline supporting. I know he loves the game. He's going to be a part of it, but probably a little tough at first.
We're used to seeing Miles Turner in an Indiana Pacers uniform. Now he's going to be in a Rivals jersey. What did you make of that news when it broke?
Oh, it was a little shocking when it first happened. Obviously, I love my time with Miles, and it was great being his teammate. He's done a lot for me, being one of the vets, and excited to see his success over there.
And just lastly, what's your early impressions of Cooper Flagg?
Oh, I love him. I think he's a winner. I think he does all the intangible things, and got a bright future in the league coming.
We appreciate the time, Andrew, and congratulations on a great run.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Best of luck next season.
Folks, don't be fooled by the easy smile of Andrew Nembhard.
A common foul.
Looking at potentially flagrant. Didn't really look like he landed on either of his feet.
Looking to see if it was a reckless closeout. You have to be, by definition of the rule, in control of your body while blowing out, allowing the shooter to land. But back to the Nembhard brothers. Don't be fooled by the easy smile of either of them, especially Andrew. Claude, their father, told me that during COVID, Mom and Dad went out to the hardware store because they were painting the house. And he told the two of them, hey, I want you to play some ones in the driveway. They came back from the hardware store. There was one picture on the wall after all the pictures had been taken down. Ryan was upstairs. Andrew was downstairs. And there was a hole in the wall when they took the picture away. You know what happened? He put his brother's head through the wall.
As brothers are prone to do. That's all I can tell you about that.
It's competitive out there, right?
Of course.
That's all you wanted. Wow. Good. Mavericks going airborne. Cisse flying charter on that one. He's got 4 points.
That's another guy that Josh Broghammer was raving about. Particularly this end of the floor. His rim protection, he's in drop coverage there, doesn't affect it. But man, did he go up to the top of the square to catch that lob.
That was up by 6, under 5 minutes to go. Flagg. What do you make of his handle so far? It's still early as he draws the foul on Baisley.
Total command of the basketball.
Okay.
The reason he's so good with the ball is because he's so strong. His lower body is so strong. So even when you want to get up into him as a smaller player, up the floor, if he can get you on his side and use that forearm, shoulder, his waist, you're going to be kept at bay because he can hold his ground so well with that frame.
Here he is against Baisley on the edge, rips through, touches paint. Sprays it out one more to Ryan Nembhard, the midi on the way. Oh, did a lap and then came out. Connect with a nice hit head slider. Nembhard with a good closeout. Forced him to pick it up. Here's Baisley. Stewart with an open look for three. Got it. He's got 5 in the ball game. The lead down to 4. 4 minutes to go. And Baisley fouls flag. So Jason Kidd wasn't lying to us when he said he wanted to see the ball in Cooper Flagg's hands and what he does with it and how he does with it. There's a look at the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, whose team suffered some cataclysmic injuries towards the end of the season. None more devastating than the ACL injury to Kyrie Irving. Jason will be joining us at halftime. From the wing, that one comes off, and Baisley with the rebound.
And Dallas went out and did a pretty good job of finding a solution for that in the short term with D'Angelo Russell. About as good as you're going to do in that situation. Guy who can flat out score, run an offense. D'Angelo Russell now will be there awaiting Kyrie Irving's return.
3:28 to go in the first half. Lakers taking the 1-point lead. You know, Lindsey Harding and Lakers head coach J.J. Redick seem inextricably connected. They met on campus as 18-year-olds at Duke University, both incoming freshmen. Lindsey then later went on after her playing days in the WNBA to become assistant coach with the 76ers. While with the 76ers, she was JJ's player development coach. So Redick, our former colleague here, by the way, has firsthand knowledge of the type of skill work and the great kind of player development, great work she does with the roster. So offered her the job here about a year ago at this time. Former G League Coach of the Year, too, with the Stockton Kings. And she was also on Mike Brown's bench in Sacramento for a couple years.
I remember talking with JJ out here last summer, shortly after he got the job, and he was already had her name in the air. He was excited about that situation. She's been a great addition to their staff.
On the foul, it'll be sidelined out of bounds. 3:10 to go in this opening half. Cooper Flagg with 8 points on 4 of 11 from the field. Bronny James 2 of 3 from the field. He has 7. Nembhard around the screen. Man, he is really good as the primary ball handler in those actions.
Yeah, and you see him coming around that screen full speed. I've already seen him do it now with the dribble and also off the dribble handoff. And he understands his acceleration away from the defender gives him just that extra bit of space as he comes off that screen to shoot a relaxed jumper.
Speaking of relaxed jumpers, connects. That corner 3 makes it a 2-point Laker lead. Nembhard against big pressure from Stewart. Had it knocked away, no foul. Lakers have numbers. Connect had it knocked away. Out of bounds, it'll stay at this end as Bronny James gets ready to check back into the ball game for Lindsey Harding and the Lakers.
It was a nice job by Stewart that time on Nembhard to call that a chase and rake when you're sliding laterally but still able to be quick with your hands. Stewart able to knock that ball away and create transition going the other way. Good recovery by Dallas to prevent that layup.
Connect open in the corner. They didn't see him. Here's Baisley. Measures the 3 and knocks it home. There is Baisley back and looking for another opportunity. Mentioned OKC also played with Phoenix, Utah, and Philadelphia from 22 to 24.
I mean, it's a guy that averaged 13 and 7 in an NBA season for the Thunder. So he's obviously got a lot of talent. He just has a smoothness about his game that you love.
Sharp had a couple of good looks, couldn't convert. Here's Bronny James off the drag screen. Float game got it blocked, but a foul called on the play. And that's going to go against number 14, Kelly. So Bronny James back at the free throw line. You look at his body even, and Bronny up to close to 220 pounds right now, about 215. People forget he's only 20 years old. You grow into your body a little bit until your mid-20s.
Well, you could just see he's broader from shoulder to shoulder. He's added a lot of muscle into his upper body, and that's just going to make things easier for him really on both ends, because I think a year ago if he was on the floor, like you'd see a smaller guy and immediately try to go to the mismatch and post him up. And you saw earlier in this game that Cooper Flagg tried to do that and back him down. Adding that extra muscle allows him to hold his ground a little bit better because you know he's going to be fine out on the perimeter pressuring the basketball. It's those situations of switch onto a bigger wing that are going to be problematic for him.
Mom, Savannah, family courtside, 17-4 run. Lakers with a 6-point lead. Flagg couldn't turn the corner. Baisley well defended, and Flagg left it up top. What a follow by Sharp.
7-5, you don't have to get off the ground very high for a putback like that. Cooper Flagg really created that by getting into the paint, putting all eyes on him, allowing the offensive rebounding opportunity.
With a nice bucket by the Lakers, the lead swelling to 6. 1:20 to go. Nembhard picked up by Swider on the switch. Flagg not shy. Rebounded by the Mavricks.
And there's one thing right now. You want to nitpick?
Talk
one
to me.
pick in the draft?
What's that?
The way the ball comes off his hand, he's got sideways rotation to a certain extent. And I think that is the one thing he's going to have to focus on. It's because his wrist is slightly turned at the point of release. It goes up the way it should, and just as about to release the ball, that wrist tilts slightly inward, and as a result the ball's coming off his pinky a little bit too much, and there's a side rotation on it. I think it's going to be tough to get those shooting percentages up into the upper 30s or low 40s from the three-point line.
How do you fix that?
It's really just something through repetition and focusing on that wrist finishing, going straight toward the basket and not his fingertips sort of pointing off to the left, which is what's happening when he's releasing the ball.
Interesting observation on the crossover. Flagg took it to the rim and got it to fall. Cooper Flagg into double figure scoring with 10. 5 of 15 from the field. James with the cross. That 3 comes off. Ronnie now 2 for 4.
I'll tell you what, Cooper Flagg's going to finish this quarter. He's going to end up with about 15, 16 minutes in the half, which is pretty high for a top pick in this summer league.
And almost a field goal attempt per minute. Nembhard with the fadeaway, got it. Boy, Ryan Nembhard with 12 points in this first half on 6 of 10. Stewart got it to go off glass. It'll count at the buzzer. Stewart with 7. DJ Stewart had a pretty successful California Classic. He averaged 14 a game. Cooper Flagg with 1 half in the books with 10.
Oh, toughest shot of the night for Stewart. Gets it to go. Banks open. Vegas, right? All the time.
I think
It's 24-7. I know you have. I saw you there.
I'm not holding at 14.
How'd that turn out? Black or red? How'd that come up for you?
Broke.
Oh, yeah.
Back after this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA 2K26 Summer League. As Jason Kidd said a moment ago, when he was playing, the games were free, folks.
You're not getting in free tonight.
No.
Mark Jones, you need a grip. Mark Jones courtside with Tim Legler. Katie George joining us in just a moment. Cooper Flagg, the #1 pick, second youngest pick ever, hadn't played a basketball game since April the 6th. What were your first half impressions of him?
Well, listen, he does a little bit of everything. You saw all of that on display. Really, the only thing that let him down in the first half was his jump shot. He just wasn't able to consistently get any rhythm out there.
The lob for Bronny. Couldn't get it to go. The pass was a little bit low.
Good set right out of the locker room. But all in all, you saw Cooper Flagg do what you expect, handle the basketball quite a bit, make plays off the dribble, very strong in attacking the rim, and very good at being able to attack one-on-one a stationary defender in front of him and beat that guy downhill.
Connect from 12. Got the fortuitous roll. And Dalton Connect with 8 points in the ball game. What'd you make of the first half from Bronny James?
Yeah, he came out really comfortable to start, hit his first 2 shots. Overall, I thought very good half. When you compare it to what you saw out of him a year ago, when he was just trying to survive out there. That's not what I saw tonight. He looks like a guy much more comfortable with what he's doing. He's got a plan and a purpose, and you saw a lot of that in the first half.
Tell you what, Miles Kelly of the Mavericks can shoot that thing. Shot almost 41% from deep last year with Auburn. Has 11 in the ball game after that 3-ball that he just connected on. He was one of the top transfers last season in college basketball after playing several years at Georgia Tech. Part of Bruce Pearl's team, and you know, you're starting to see Kelly, one of those guys. You're seeing older players come into the league, Tim, and what do you make of that trend?
Well, yeah, I do think there's something to be said for it, because I think there's openings because a lot of the new salary cap ramifications. Teams are looking for guys that got some experience that they don't necessarily have to pay a lot if they're able to somehow crack the rotation. Particularly shooters, Josie. If you can shoot it in this league now, it's such a valuable commodity.
Off the bounce, and that's going to be a foul as Lewis will go to the free throw line. Not to mention the fact that with the advent of NIL in college basketball now, you can put some money in your pocket, stay in school, get some more seasoning to your game, so to speak, and come out as a 22-year-old and be ready to play.
You don't necessarily have to bounce across the pond like I did to get the bank account going somewhere first so I could chase my dream and eventually make it happen. Now, you're right. Some of these guys come out, they're in a pretty good situation, and it buys you time to chase your dream. That's really what it does.
Lewis knocks down the first free throw. Maxwell Lewis, erstwhile of the Los Angeles Lakers, made his first start of his career on April 3rd against Minnesota. Had 10 points and 6 rebounds. He's traded from the Lakers to the Nets, along with D'Angelo Russell several months ago. That's 4 points in the ball game for him. Nembhard picking up full court. Andrew Nembhard in the pipeline for the Canadian national basketball program. Baisley, straight line drive, sprays it out to Bronny, steps back for 3. And that one was halfway down and out. James now 2 of 6 from the field. Nembhard with Baisley on him. Calls for the screen, flag ghosts it. Nembhard off the miss. The Lakers on the move. They've got numbers. Connect out to Swider. Automatic. Cole Swider, the shooter out of Syracuse, up to a dozen.
And you find yourself in a rhythm at any time as a shooter. You know, you just expect the next one to go in. He's in that zone right now, the way he's played. Really, this is his 4th straight game doing this. Swider is just running to open spots, letting guys break the defense down, and then just waiting. And when he gets opportunities, man, it ends up in the bottom of the net.
Hands it off to Stewart this time. 7 on the shot clock. Stewart with that hostage dribble. Had his man in jail and got the nice roll. Quick hit ahead and good catch, but a turnover right to Baisley. Swider back to Baisley, and he's fouled in the lane. Prior to the shot, it'll be sideline out of bounds. Jay Flores, Robert Hussey, and Austin Spiker are 3 officials tonight. Cisse in the ball game. You look at this Dallas team. Lisa Cisse, one of several players on their summer league roster. They are long on the wings.
Well, think about the team they're envisioning putting on the floor next year defensively. With Anthony Davis, Lively or Gafford, and Cooper Flagg out there potentially at the 3. All of that length, all of that versatility, all of that rim protection, but also guys that can get out on the perimeter and slide their feet. Yeah. So you're talking about a back line that's going to be presenting a lot of problems in the paint for teams to score on, and contesting a lot of jump shots for their ability to close out with all that length.
A couple of shots for the Mavericks, who trail by 6. Cisse out of Memphis. Returned to Memphis after playing a couple of seasons at Oklahoma State and one at the University of Mississippi. He was the co-defensive player of the year in the conference, as Baisley misfires on the first free throw.
Paisley with 7 points and 7 rebounds in the ball game. Each of the 30 teams represented here at the Summer League will play a minimum of 5 games. With the champion being crowned on the 20th. Here's a look at the management type, former owner of the Dallas Mavericks. Doing great things off the court too with his cost-plus drugs, saving lives. Here's medicine for the Mavericks right here in Cooper Flagg. That foul is going to go against Gordon in his first.
One thing that's been impressive about Cooper Flagg, he has faced ball pressure the entire night, no matter where he picks the ball up. And despite that, he's yet to have a turnover in the game.
Well, there's a turnover on the inbound pass. Not Flagg's fault. It'll come back the other way.
I was going to say, that teed that up perfectly or
yeah,
not?
you did.
I think the pass actually hit the sideline. I don't think that's going to be registered for Cooper Flagg, but that's impressive. You know, because you think you'd want to do too much. Maybe you're going to even commit an offensive foul on a drive. His instincts for making the right play, really solid.
Boy, connect, confident looking 3 right there. Timmy's up to 13.
Finding his groove a little bit. 5 of 10, 3 threes.
Paisley went under the screen on Flagg and he left it short.
So that NBA 3, as you pointed out, is a different 3 than that collegiate one. And even though Flagg shot it at 38% at Duke, it translates a little bit differently here.
Well, there's more guys that shoot that shot than ever before in the NBA. And more guys capable of making it, but still to do it at that elite level, you know, low to mid 40s, upper 40s, that still is a different breed. That's a special breed. I think Cooper Flagg potentially can get there, but I think it's going to take him a while for that part of his game to catch up. The deep shot off the dribble or off the catch. Right now, definitely better off the catch from out there. But he does so many other things. He's going to get, you know, an opportunity to impact the game so many different ways regardless.
Connect left that 3 short, rebounded by Flagg.
The bounce, Connect picks him up in transition. Around the screen.
Jemison stays with Flagg. Straightaway 3 rims out.
Cisse with the rebound, another chance. Here come the Lakers. Up by 8. That's going to be a foul. Stewart fouled by Hall.
Get a timeout.
Dalton Connect, folks. He went through it this past season.
Solid footing here, though. Pretty tumultuous year for the Dallas Mavericks with several seismic shifts. This was the biggest one. Luka traded to the Lakers. And then a season-ending ACL injury to Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis hurt down the stretch as well. They lost their play-in tournament game against the Memphis Grizzlies. And trending in the right direction after getting the #1 pick. That guy right there, 18-year-old Cooper Flagg. Heard Jason Kidd speak with our Malika Andrews at halftime. And one of the big question marks for Dallas might be when they become whole. And after speaking with some people in Kyrie's camp, there's a thought that he's just going to play it until right around the All-Star break, see where they are. But in no particular rush per se to get back. He has said on a recent stream he wants to be 150% ready with his body when he returns to the court. And when he's at his best, there's few like him, if any.
Absolutely one of the biggest X factors in the league right here, the Dallas Mavericks organization. And a lot of it hinging on when they do get Kyrie back. But as I said earlier, you go out, you get D'Angelo Russell, really nice insurance policy in the meantime, and then eventually can play with Kyrie and play off the ball some. You draft Cooper Flagg, but then that same cast of characters, they're running it back with those guys. Their season was disjointed after the trade and the injuries that they dealt with. But you get Kyrie back in the fold and add Cooper Flagg to the mix with Anthony Davis for a full season. Yeah, Dallas Mavericks are definitely one of those teams you're going to have to watch. They got knocked out in the play-in a year ago. They've got their sights set on contending this coming season.
I had a chance to watch Klay Thompson work out at Stan Remy's gym down in Miami a couple of days ago, and Klay's in mid-season form already. I don't think he missed a jump shot the entire time. Told me he was planning on coming out to Dallas to meet with Flag and the rest of his Mavricks teammates. Out to Vegas. 7 on the shot clock for the Lakers. Back out front. Davis on the bounce. Step back 3 with a hand in his face. The Lakers with another opportunity. Connect on the drive. Hanging in the air and puts it home.
Yeah, that's the underrated part of his game. He's very athletic with his ability to hang in the air and manipulate the ball a little bit until he has an opening to finish. He could have taken that 3 on the kick out. He saw an opportunity to get himself a much higher percentage shot. He's got the size and athletic ability and bounce to get that done.
Connect had a 25-point game in his last game of the California Classic, so he comes to Las Vegas with a little bit of momentum as Bronny James comes back into the ball game. You know, we talked about Bronny, we talked about Dad, LeBron, we talk about Bryce, the younger son. Hey, Zuri told me at halftime she had a great volleyball season, so don't sleep on Zuri.
There you go. No.
Okay?
Good mention right there. Good of you to get that in.
Hey.
They will appreciate it.
Go the extra yard.
No doubt.
Athleticism runs in that family. High arcing 3 comes off, loose ball, and the Lakers control, leading by 5. Ronnie over to Davis. 10 on the shot clock. Trying to ice the screen. Pass inside, never made it. Jimson gets on the deck. 2 on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds with 1.2 to go on the shot clock. We're going to take a timeout. Lakers with the lead when we come back to Las Vegas. Hey, our next WNBA game is Saturday afternoon on ABC and the ESPN app. Nafisa Collier leads the Lynx against Angel Reese in the Sky. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Eastern time on ABC. Boy, has Angel Reese been on a heater of late or what? Her stats have been phenomenal. Fee and the Lynx, #1 team in the W right now. Bronny and Cooper Flag having a little laugh right now. They had some one-on-one work going at each other a moment ago, mostly Cooper with the basketball. Lakers trying to get it in. Gordon pulls it. Well, got a look, but didn't draw iron. That's a shot clock violation.
Technical foul. I'm not sure. I didn't see who she was pointing at.
Flores mentioned
who was the
technical foul. Oh, it was against Koloko, we're being told. That's exactly why. Oh, you can't do that.
That looked like some of that Nembhard 1v1 action in the driveway you were talking about. Yeah. That's more likely to happen there.
Someone's head's going to go through the wall and need a painting or a picture to cover it up. 2:11 to go. That's a foul. First of 2 here tonight. Don't forget, coming up next will be the San Antonio Spurs against the 76ers. Andrew Nembhard telling me a little bit earlier he hadn't seen his brother play in person in well over a year, of course, with their respective busy schedules. Corner 3 is good, and shooter.
And Nembhard has just been as impressive as anybody out here with his control of the ball, his instincts defensively, his quickness, you know, how he disrupts things. He's just very, very mature and sure of himself. And you see it here as he comes up the floor. Just look at the way his head is scanning every opportunity and creates that pace, which leads to the 2-on-1 on the backside, and now a foul, 2 free throws. That's all was all created by the pace that was created by Nembhard.
Marion Sharp will go to the free throw line. Here's the catalyst, though. Ryan Nembhard. Nice dish to Miles Kelly in the corner. Ryan Nembhard, maybe the next in a long line of prolific Canadian basketball players in the NBA. This year's MVP was born in Toronto. Nembhard and his brother Andrew are from Aurora, Ontario. Tim, I'm going to help you and the rest of the audience out that might be geographically challenged. Aurora is about an hour north of the great city of Toronto on Highway 400. Right beside Canada's Wonderland. You pass it on your right, going north. You take your kid on some rides.
Yeah, we've been there. We've been to Wonderland. Oh, took a trip.
You're royalty, man. I can't play with you.
That was just my wife and I did that trip.
Kelly with the layup in the other end.
We're roller coaster fiends. What are you going to say, man? We hunt them.
I thought I knew you. 1:06 to go. Good ball pressure by Nembhard. A little too much. Commits the foul. It's the first one in the last 2 minutes. Sideline out of bounds. If we get a new rule this year where the player at the end of the quarter, and we might see it come into play here with minute 3 to go, or not, it's counted as a team miss. So guys now are encouraged, actually, not to eat the ball at the end of the quarter.
Or to release it right after the horn. That's an art form in and of itself. Look, I'm in favor of it. You know,
you like it?
Yeah, I am, because I think a lot of guys, you know, they get judged on their percentages, man. When you go in for a contract negotiation, your three-point percentage comes into play, and you want to hoist up a dozen of those in the course of the season if you're out there often in those situations. So I like that rule. I really do.
Flag one-on-one. Spins back to his right. Tough shot rims out, and here's Bronny.
And what he's going to see, Cooper Flag on the contest there at the rim, but he's going to see some of these moves that he was able to beat guys with at Duke, like with the jump stop to the ball fake and the up and under. There's just a much bigger, quicker athlete he's going to see at this level, and he'll make that adjustment. But at Duke, the move he just made, that was going to be a little simple turnaround 10-foot jumper. Now it's going to be contested at a much higher rate.
Pretty dynamic athlete, though. Cooper Flag, vertical leap at about 35.5 inches at the NBA Combine. Here in the third quarter, he's 0 for 3 from the field. Hasn't scored. So what do you think about the Mavericks' revamped coaching staff now with Jay Triano, erstwhile of the Sacramento Kings, running the offense, and Frank Vogel coming in to run the Lakers, run the Mavs defense?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love both of those guys. And they've been around a long time, and they have very specific things that they bring to the table, and that's what Jason Kidd was seeking out. Not to mention Frank Vogel, South Jersey guys. So I'm always looking out for those guys.
Love that. He knows what's up. Bronny goes around the world to Swider on a slick dime. Swider. Loose ball and rebounded by the Mavericks. 7 seconds to go. Plenty of time to Nembhard to squeeze one off. Rips through and draws the foul from Davis. So Ryan Nembhard will go to the free throw line. Foul on the shot attempt. Nembhard played 2 years at Creighton before transferring to Gonzaga for his final 2 seasons. Set a school record with 243 assists in 2024 and then 344. So really in a quote unquote true point guard mode, right?
Absolutely. Different the way he views the game at that position, and his size dictates some of that, the way he has to play offensively. But he averaged just under 10 assists a game while shooting 40% from the 3 and giving you relentless ball pressure defensively.
That's the end of the third quarter. Dalton connects with 15 points after 3 quarters. Kelly with 17 for the Mavericks.
Nembhard, Ryan, you've gotten off to a great start in your summer league debut. You seem like you're in total control on both ends of the floor. How would you describe the way you're playing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be aggressive, you know, do whatever I can to impact winning. play defense, get in transition, get my guys involved. So just trying to play hard and trying to get a win tonight.
I had a chance to visit with your brother earlier in the broadcast. He's so excited for the way that you're playing. Was there any advice he gave you ahead of tonight?
Yeah, just be me, you know. He knows what I do. He knows how much work I put in. So just be me, come out here, play my game, and yeah, that's it.
I'll ask you the same question I asked him. Is there any part of your game that's better than his?
Yeah, I'm just a little quicker than him, a little faster than him, but you know, I take a lot from him. So
How do you think he answered?
I don't know. Probably said he's better at everything than me. So.
Yeah, he did. He did. Nice work. Thank you.
Brothers compete. Lakers with a 3 to start the final and fourth quarter. That snaps an 11-0 run by the Mavericks to make it a 3-point game.
As DeJuan Gordon knocking down one. Is the guy that had 37 points in a G League game, so you know he could score.
Now, as you see Nembhard attempt that lob pass to Sharp, or maybe that was Cisse actually, you can certainly imagine him throwing those passes to Lively and Davis and Gafford, right?
No doubt. Look, there's a numbers problem potentially in Dallas, right? You just start writing names on paper, but
Right.
There's no question that he has a feel and an ability to impact the game at that level. And getting downhill and having 2 lob threats like that, in addition to an Anthony Davis, yeah, it's easy to imagine Nembhard being able to impact the game in that way, and those guys loving to play with a point guard with that kind of vision.
Bronny kicks it out to Swider. Good find. Swider couldn't cash, and here come the Mavericks. It's to pull to within 3. Hall, who's been one of the pleasant surprises of the summer league camp that they've had, knocks down the 3 on cue.
Yeah, that's a
long 2, actually.
St. Joe's guy, Philly now. Come on, big 5. And I mean, he's just a absolute natural bucket getter.
People still know about the Big 5?
Big 5. It's not necessarily the same as it was.
Okay.
Doesn't have quite the same meaning, but absolutely. They still play those Big 5 games every year, and they pack the Palestra to see those doubleheaders.
Real venerable edifice, one of the best basketball arenas in the country. Back out to Kelly. Couple jabs, drives. Nice pass inside. Cisse rejected at the rim. Rice on the break, raises up and lays it home. And the Lakers back to within 2.
Well, you saw 3 tremendous plays on this end of the floor. It's a great drop pass. Went up strong, Cisse to the rim, but just a better block by Koloko, which led to something good for the Lakers.
Nembhard misses the midi. And here comes Rice. Chance for the Lakers to tie. Rice got Hall to go underneath the screen, got back tapped. Out of bounds, it'll stay Los Angeles basketball. Gabe McLaughlin coming into the ball game on Grand Canyon State. Kelly will take a seat. Sharp also comes in the ball game for the Mavericks. 7'5". Aaron Sharp. He just blocked the shot. Shot clock at 6. 3 on the clock. Got a pull. In transition, here's Nembhard.
Cooper Flag set the check back in, and my guess is finish this game, assuming it remains close.
Lewis got tripped and fouled as Flag will check it back into the ball game, as will Dalton Connect. Lewis, meanwhile, still down on the court. TJ Stewart getting ready to come back into the ball game as well. Tell you what, you look at these 2 teams, Lakers, Dallas. OKC probably has some separation on the rest of the pack, but you know, there's Denver who got better, it looks like, during the offseason so far. And a whole bunch of teams there.
Houston Rockets.
Oh, by the way,
Look at the offseason they've had to this point. Top of the West again. Crowded. Clearly, Oklahoma City's the team that is the known commodity because of what they just accomplished, and they're keeping that team intact. And a bunch of guys got paid this summer. But you look at what Denver's done. There's no doubt they're better. I think that's going to re-energize Nikola Jokic and make him realize he's still in the title hunt in Denver. It felt a little stale. I think that they've now re-energized him. Houston clearly is in that mix. And then you just start looking at that next layer of teams. I think the Clippers got better.
Yeah.
And then you look at these two teams. These are X-factor teams. We talked about Dallas and how they've reinvented themselves. Look at now what the Lakers are going to have. Luka for a full year.
Right.
DeAndre Ayton now in the fold. They added a nice role player in Jake LaRavia. So the Lakers feel like they're going to be much better than they were a year ago as well.
As Lewis knocks down the perimeter J. Dallas back up by 6. Approaching 6.5 minutes to go. Lewis with 8 in the ball game. Koloko out to the wing. That runner comes off. Koloko back out to Stewart for 3. He tries it, and it's good. 3-point ball game. The pace picking up a little bit. Dallas looking to push. And that 3 is true. Gabe McLaughlin knocks one home. A 37% three-point shooter. He has 6.
That was nice. He ran the right side of the floor. He wanted a lob. They didn't see him, so he just continued running. Ended up in the left corner. And he's a good shooter. When he has time, his shoulders are square. He can knock it down from that distance.
Koloko tries a 3. Tipped the line back out to connect. Stewart on the show and go. 15-footer is too strong. Lewis steps through. Good closeout. Lewis relocates. And Stewart with the board. Ronnie James still on the bench. As we get a timeout with Dallas leading 79-73 on opening night here in Las Vegas.
NBA 2K26 Summer League is proudly sponsored by NBA 2K26. Rated E for everyone.
Hey, y'all turn that up now. Come on, that's great. We ran this already, ear stack. We're gonna keep with the stack. It's messing them up. We're good. Listen, we're good. It's our mistake. We're good. Let's go. Gotta be smarter on this. Here we go.
The intonations of Summer League head coach Lindsey Harding for the Los Angeles Lakers. Shot clock down to 7. Stewart couldn't turn the corner. Latham with good defense, but better offense that time. Tough shot.
You're right. He did a great job cutting him off. I didn't think he was going to be able to stay in front, but McLaughlin squared him up. It's just a better shot, which often happens at this level.
Flag sets the screen. Hall turns the corner. There's the pass. And the delivery. Bucket good.
McLaughlin likes that left corner, apparently. He's finding himself there. He doesn't need much time to get it off, but he had plenty of time. No defender in the area that time. Knocked down his second straight 3.
Played good defense on that wide action. They tried to get it to connect. He missed the jumper. Baisley. Swider got it. Old Swider brings the Lakers a little bit closer.
That was that Ray Allen special he just hit you with. Backpedaling to the corner without looking down at the line.
Except Ray worked on that every day.
And I think the stakes were a little bit greater on Ray's shot.
Game 6. Right down there at American Airlines Arena at the time. Yeah, it was reminiscent.
But all kidding aside, that is very difficult to do. You know, I would do drills like that when I was working out in the league, and it's a hard thing to get the feel for. To backpedal and not, to make sure you're behind the line, but not step on the sideline.
Flag with the fadeaway, missed everything. And Cooper now 5 of 19 from the field. Hasn't scored in the second half. He's 0 for 5 from the field. Under 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Baisley back out top. One more to connect. Draws the double, then sprays it. Got it. Good execution that time, and the bucket is good from Rice.
Really nice ball movement that time for a group of guys that haven't been together very long. That was playing to the strong side, creating traffic, and then getting it to the weak side for a 2-on-1 and making the right read.
Cisse couldn't connect on the alley-oop. And the Lakers with a chance to take the lead. Rice. Swider underneath. Connect trying to do it. Boy, left it way short. Had a great look. Long outlet picked off. And here's Stewart. Snyder for the lead. And the Lakers go up by 2. Snyder with 21.
Well, when you have the hot hand, ball seems to end up in the right place. Snyder feeling it's going to be a great finish.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NBA 2K26 Summer League from Las Vegas. A look at our 2 stars tonight. Bronny James in 20 minutes, 8 points on 2 of 7. Made his first 2 field goals, ironically. And Cooper Flagg, well, one thing you can say, he's not shy about shooting. So far, 5 of 20. But in a lot of ways, Tim, to be expected when you look at the fact that he hasn't played competitive basketball since April 6th. Those summer runs are a little different, right? I mean,
completely. That plays into it without question. I also think the fact that you're talking about being out there really offensively where there's no real rhythm and flow because they haven't practiced together except for a few days. So everything he's trying to do right now is creating one-on-one off the dribble. That's number one, it's exhausting, and 2, it's very difficult to be efficient that way because there's nothing really that's happening with action that creates the ability to catch the ball with some space to operate. Everything has been in this situation right here, just trying to beat guys off the dribble one-on-one.
That had to be either a travel or double dribble. It ends up being a traveling violation, and it'll come back the other way. That's his first turnover of the game, for what it's worth. As high as his usage has been, he's probably turned out on the positive side of things, right?
Oh, for sure. And that is an important number. I mean, you think just wouldn't come out here and impress and force it a little bit. Even some of his offense, some of the shots he's taken. So the fact that he hasn't turned it over, you know, facing a lot of ball pressure, yeah, I think that shows you kind of his IQ and his understanding and feel for things.
That's going to be a foul on the Mavricks and Miles Kelly, it looks like. Sending Snyder to the line. It appeared as if he was behind the 3-point line at the time of the field goal attempt. It'll be 3 shots for Cole Snyder.
It felt a little bit like a situation there defensively where Dallas said, oh, you know what? Enough is enough, Snyder. Like, we're going to run right through you and make you go earn some.
Yeah,
not much contact there, but didn't give him any landing space. That's a pretty good contest up top. He just continued to drift into the area that he had to land. And right now, everything going right for Snyder, and it has been all summer.
He's 6 of 9 from behind the line from the stripe as he misses the free throw. Hey, Summer League action continues tomorrow on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. NBA TV tomorrow has Memphis against Boston at 4, Knicks Detroit at 6, Toronto Chicago at 8, Clippers Houston at 10. Snyder gets the rebound off the miss. One more to Rice. Here's Stewart. Spins away from the screen. A couple of fakes and has it roll off. Flagg with the rebound. The Flagg does have 6 rebounds now. 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Nembhard, guarded by Connect, calls for the ball screen. He gets the switch with Snyder. Time for a little bag work. Nembhard. Does that look familiar? Tell me that didn't look like a guy that plays for the Pacers. That same combo.
The film I was watching on him preparing for this, that's exactly what I said to myself. It really is his brother, just a little bit of a smaller version. And that was so nice. He wanted that matchup on that last ball screen. Nembhard got to his spot. That's a tough turnover here in the open floor.
Wow. Connect smoked the layup. And he's slow to get up. I mean, it was everything but the bucket. And he's a little hurt right now. Flagg with the block at the rim. Dallas, Nembhard for the lead. Bottom. Ryan Nembhard in full effect. And Big Bro appreciates it.
Now, he has played well the entire night. Everything he's done has been impactful for the Mavericks. I don't connect the shook up. I have no idea what happened on that layup. A finger roll that went awry, but he ends up getting injured.
But at the other end, Ryan Nembhard saw an opportunity and took advantage of it.
Great block, Cooper Flagg, and this is what we noticed about him at a very young age. His want to on the defensive end and in creating on the other end.
Number 1 pick Cooper Flagg is 18 years old on a steep climb on the learning curve tonight. But he's had some brilliant moments.
Overall, a rough shooting night, but you've seen all the different boxes that he checks. His size and ball handling ability, athleticism, that combination is going to lead to a lot of good things happening when he's on the floor. He just has really struggled with his mid-range contested shots and then anything deep as well. But you've seen all of the things that he does on display, with the exception of he just hasn't finished it off by making shots at the rate he typically is used to.
From the state of Maine, just the second player ever to be drafted from the state. Jeff Turner seeing the other one. How about that? Here's Bronny out front, less than a minute to go. Rice with the show and go, drives it. Nice dime to Baisley, tough catch in traffic. Got peeled. Comes out to Stewart with 5 on the shot clock. Comes off. Baisley corrals it and is fouled on the putback. What a wild, frenetic, frenzied sequence that was.
And this is the time in the game when it comes out. I know it's a summer league game, but these dudes want to win the game, and their bodies all over the place, falling over each other on that possession. And eventually it's just a lot of effort on that offensive glass by Baisley, gets wrapped up, and now an opportunity to tie this game.
Baisley's stats, 8 of 11 tonight. Pardon me, 8 points, 11 rebounds. He's had a pretty successful night all around. He's checked a lot of boxes, Tim.
He's impressive, 230 NBA games under his belt, and you can just see it. It's a little bit different with him. He's trying to get back and establish himself in somebody's rotation. Shows you how good the talent is, right at that level. How tough it is for a guy like this with this kind of length, handle. He's a pretty good outside shooter as well. It's just so difficult to crack rotations and to stay there, but I think he's acquitted himself pretty well tonight.
Remember, he was the first high school player to choose the G League over college basketball. He goes 0 for 2 from the line. Flagg on the break, where he has been lethal tonight. Pulls it out this time. Dallas up by a bucket. Flagg on the bounce against Baisley, who fouls him.
They first threw it ahead to him. Cooper Flagg wanted to give this crowd something to finish his night off of, but smartly turned that around, understanding it's a 2-point game now inside 30 seconds.
It's the first foul in the last 2 minutes. Here's Flagg again. Run a lot of 5 out tonight. Same type of offense they ran at Duke. Flagg pulls up and shoots an air ball. Part of that steep learning curve.
No doubt. He's coming out of some of these spin moves that he's so used to making, and at Duke he'd rise up and he had space. He had a vision to the rim. Now a lot of hands there that are altering those shots.
Lakers for the tie. Bronny out front. Kelly gonna try and stick him sitting in his defensive stance. Bronny off the screen, gets the switch. 5 on the clock. Little bag work. Pulls the 3. A little bit strong. Comes off out of bounds. The horn goes. Is there time remaining? Jay Flores will go to the officials' scores table. The play is under review, she says. Bronny with the 3. What'd you make of that last sequence in the shot?
Well, first of all, I thought they waited way too long to get into their action. You want to give yourself an opportunity for an offensive rebound in that situation. And then I thought when he came off that initial screen, he had some space, but he hesitated a little bit. That allowed the defender to close the gap. And that was a very hotly contested shot. Very difficult for him to have a clear line of sight. But I just thought overall, Jones, that he waited too long. Go sooner. Give yourself an opportunity with some options to get downhill and potentially, like I said, get on the offensive glass to give yourself another chance.
We talked about one of his goals coming into Summer League was his traveling and ability to consistently get downhill. I thought he had an opportunity after getting the switch here, Tim, to get downhill.
Well, he did. And
at the review, the clock will be reset to 2 seconds. 0.2 of a second, and the ball will be awarded to Lakers.
So that's not enough time for a catch and shoot because it has to be at least 0.3 or more. At 0.2 or less, it has to be a tip at the basket.
To your point, to finish this off, I did think he had an opportunity to get that switch, get downhill. When he elected to go left, it was obvious he was going to go to the step back. And I think when he first separated, he could have shot the ball, but he waited, and it allowed that defender to close that distance.
Let's see what Lindsey Harding has drawn up here with 0.2 on the clock.
It's probably the one time the Lakers wished Jamarian Sharp was on their team. 7-5, throw it up straight to the front of the rim. Instead, he's going to be putting his hands up to obstruct this pass. Very difficult to get that over him.
That could be a tip. There it is, but it didn't go. Beasley got a finger on it. And that's the end of the game. Dallas hangs on to win it 87-85. As Cooper Flagg ends up with 10 points on 5 of 21. Bronny James with 8 points and misfiring on that final 3 that would have won it for the Lakers. Bull Swider led the way for the Lakers. Nembhard led the way for the winners tonight. Ryan Nembhard had 21 points. Miles Kelly had 17. We're going to speak with one of the players after the game here, hoping to get one of the Mavricks. Going to wait on Cooper Flagg, but interesting night for the #1 pick. And after all is said and done, Tim, he's 18 years old.
That's right. That's right.
People forget he's 18.
Yeah.
Freshman in college.
Sky's the limit because of his intensity and how badly he wants to be great.
Cooper Flagg with his first night in the books. And year 2 underway for Bronny. And let's go to Katie with Cooper.
We're going to move over, Mark, just a little bit.
All right.
Lots of cameras. I don't need to tell you that this is one of the most highly anticipated Summer League debuts we've seen in quite some time. How would you describe your play tonight, Cooper?
Not up to my standard. You know, I'm gonna regroup. I'm gonna be all right. You know, it's a new feeling, new environment, new teammates. But you know, the guys held it down. You know, Miles, Ryan, they were amazing tonight. Max, and they were great tonight. So you know, just they had my back. You know, I didn't have my best game, but I'm gonna just keep going forward.
How would you say this kind of game compares to the college game?
I mean, it's just a different game, different pace, different feel, different spacing. It's a lot of adjustments, but we'll be all right.
You mentioned Ryan. What do you think of his game and the ability that he has to control both ends of the floor at point?
Yeah, I mean, Ryan's incredible. You know, the way he can pass the ball, score the ball, do it at every level. You know, he defends at a high level at his size, so, you know, he's going to have a long career.
Thanks for the time, Cooper.
Thank you.
All right, Cooper Flagg with 10 points. You can see him a couple of nights against the San Antonio Spurs, the #2 pick, Dylan Harper. Well, our final score, Dallas wins it 87-85. Folks, thanks for watching the NBA on ESPN. Keep it locked here on ESPN. Spurs taking on the Sixers next.